Welcome to Conchalant. We are here on the third episode. I brought a special guest with me. We got Crybaby in the building today.
Hey y'all, it's Crybaby here.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm an artist from the Bronx. I do a little bit of it all, like from modeling, acting, singing, coordinating events, hosting events. Again, making music because that's the most important. Just a little bit of everything, you know what I'm saying?
You left out rapping. I know you could rap. I know you got some bars.
That's why I said making music. That's rapping. I make dance music, house music. I can throw a little bit of Spanish bars in there if you need it, you
Are
know?
we getting a Sexy Joe song soon?
Absolutely.
Okay. Hosting events. Can you tell me a little bit more about that? I heard you just had one, this past weekend?
Yeah, on Friday I actually had an event. Not only hosting events but curating my own events. I'm doing like a series of shows under kind of like what I want to be my brand name, my household name per se. I want it to be called the Teardrop Factory. So it's gonna be the Teardrop Showcase series, and that's what I've been doing. This last Friday was called the Solstice Sounds Open Mic, given that it was the solstice, summer solstice, first day of the summer. So I did a little play on words on that whole,
Gotcha. That's fire.
theme. And it went really well. Like, I book about 10 to 15 artists every time, recycle some, bring in a few new faces every other time. And yeah, it's really well. Great vibes, great networking opportunities.
Are you booking like more rappers, singers, just a mix of everything?
A mix of everything as long as it sounds cohesive together, because
Good.
we don't want it to sound like an ear sore to the audience.
Yeah, I mean, I think back when I was still performing, I would end up at a lot of different shows and showcases, and the lineup would be all over the place. And as an artist, I'm just like, okay, I wish it was more curated to similar types of sounds, because you got drill, somebody doing drill, then somebody doing R&B, somebody who's doing more like backpack rap, somebody who's more about bars, and then it's just like, as a show in a whole, it's just doesn't, I don't know, as an artist for me, like, I just didn't feel like I was in my place. And like, especially if you're bringing those different types of people together, sometimes the crowd doesn't necessarily show the
Right.
same amount of love that they would to this artist as compared to this artist. So I feel like definitely trying to have a cohesive lineup is
Right.
super, super important, just not only for the artist, but also for the audience that you could bring in, so that each artist is interesting to them and they
That
can
is
enjoy.
true. So that way everyone can give everyone love, and it's genuine love, not just like, oh, we're clapping to hear the next person.
Exactly.
Right. I definitely agree with that. I do also think it has to do with the environment us as curators or coordinators like create. So there are some events where we as artists go to, and it's kind of like the vibe is just not there from the audience, from the curators, from the host itself. So I do feel like with my events, I do want to be that breath of fresh air, not only in my music, but in events where it's like, oh snap, like it feels very familial, like it feels very homey, very comfy, and you can come and be your 100% self, and no matter what type of music you make, someone is gonna rock with you in the room, and it's all genuine. So
I'm glad you brought up being the right type of host too, because I've been to showcases where the artists are good, but the host sucks.
yeah.
Like, I literally went to one not too long ago where the host would keep ad-libbing over the artist performances, and I was like, just stop.
You're not
Like,
a DJ.
You're not helping. You're
Yeah.
not. You're not part of the performance. I think, like, if you're a host and you help curate the event, you get your credit for that. But like,
Exactly.
let the performances shine. I feel like if you're trying to do extra, like,
It does too. It's doing too much.
Doing too much. Sometimes the best way to help is not to help. I say
Right.
that all the time.
Sometimes to do more is just to do less.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then I want to talk about Paparazzi TV. Did I get the name right?
Yes, Paparazzi TV.
Tell us a little bit more about that.
So I guess you could say a little bit over a year ago, this TV network, TV network, kind of like a channel segment. I don't know how to really. I guess you can say a segment on a channel. It's called Paparazzi TV on BronxNet, the channel 68
Shout
on
out to
Optimum.
BronxNet. We've worked with them a lot at different times. So
Yeah, so it's like, one of those networks within that channel, and they reached out to me to host interviews for artists, and to book artists for these interviews, and to ask them basically like what you're doing to me right now, I do for like so many other people. It's such a dope opportunity to get to meet so many people, and not only that, but be on TV, I guess.
obviously, like, for us, coming up with questions, like, sometimes we'll sit down, we'll have meetings. Like, how do you come up with your questions for those artists?
So I would book them like a week in advance, and then, or maybe even 2 weeks in advance, and then from there, or maybe I would have a whole month of a lineup of artists, and I would just start doing my like extensive research on these artists.
Intense too. It's okay.
Yeah, I don't want to say intense. They're gonna be like, oh, she's a stalker. Like, no, but
Are you?
I
Is
stalk
Crybaby a stalker?
a little bit when I have to be, like I have to do my research on these artists, so that way I'm asking them questions that like we said before, everything, to get their thoughts, provoked. Like, what are you doing? Where are you going? Have you thought about what you want to do, where you want to go, and things of that nature. So
Got you. Is the show only performing artists, like singers, rappers, or do you have like other types of creatives on there?
there's a whole bunch of types of creatives. Just, I think one of my latest interviews were people who coordinate events. They were also artists, but they weren't there to promote like any videos or anything per se. They were just there to say, hey, yeah, like we do events and we're doing this, and also talk about their artistry, but more talk about their business aspect of it, because that's what they wanted to promote.
Who was your favorite guest so far? I haven't been on it yet, so you can't say me.
I know we need to talk about that. I don't think I have a personal favorite. I mean, always a bias to my friends. So like the closest ones to me, when I bring them on, it's like the easiest interviews because it flows like nothing. I talk to them all the time, so to talk to them on camera is no different. But there's no personal fave, because I feel like each person was a different, unique experience. I met so many different people, so many different personalities, and none of them clashed. Everything was smooth.
And you did one with artist NK6, right?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, we did. Actually, that's another person that I speak to all the time. We're always doing content together, going everywhere together. So when we did like each other's interview, it was kind of like we were just talking about, okay, so like what are we doing next? Like, let's tell the people what's up. Kind of like a YouTube video, but we were on TV doing it. So it's a dope experience.
And you guys have a project together, right?
Yeah, Karma's a Crybaby is what the project is called. It's out on all platforms. Came out last year, January. And yeah, the whole process of making it took us a little while. I would say a little bit over a year to make everything cohesive and make it sound like, okay, this is what we want. Like, this is what we want to make.
This is the brainchild.
Yeah, because you have so many songs, but it's only like a handful of songs that you take and you're like, I'm going to take these serious, So to do that for yourself is hard, but to do that with another person is like, okay, it's not only my thoughts going into this, it's yours too. So
let's say like you have a song that you're really connected with, but maybe he's not like,
exactly.
He's like, no, I really like this one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So to sit down in that process and like really think and plan out the order and all of the names and all that, it was a beautiful process, and it's still doing very well. So
I think one of the hardest parts about making songs is coming up with the name, with the title.
Yeah.
I feel like that is
that's like the last thing we think.
It's either the first thing or the last thing.
Yeah.
I know for some of my songs, whatever I named the beat when I was making it ended up being like the name of the song.
Sometimes for me that's the case. Other times it's like a reoccurring theme in the song or like something like that, because
or like you're humming a melody and then you say like those two little words, you're like
that's the title,
just you, and then you're like
just
you, that's it.
yeah exactly.
I think that's a good like natural creative way to name a song.
Yeah, to come up with the name of that project, we had like maybe like 2 months of brainstorming before we were like, okay, we were like, all right, let's try to put our names together. How can we put our names together? It's two completely different names, you know what I'm saying? But when we got it, and it kind of stuck. It rings a bell.
You release your music through United Masters, right?
Yes.
So I know you've been involved with them, going to like seminars or something like that.
Select
I just saw you did something the other day.
There was something called a Select Con, which they do pretty often.
Okay.
And Select Cons are basically like, I guess, and like any con, like a Comic Con, like, you know what I'm saying? You go and it's like,
I don't know. Comic Con is
pretty intense.
Yeah.
No, well, it's like a convention. Comic Con is a comic convention. You can dress up, but United Masters Select Con is a music convention where there are select members, which is, I'm not sure. Do you release music through United Masters?
No. Well, I think I did 2 songs through United Masters, but we used DistroKid.
Okay, so United Masters has this thing where you can become a select member, and for a small fee every year, you can get 100% of your royalties. And I went because I was like, okay, select con. I'm a select member. Let's see what's up. And basically, if you're a regular member, you can go, but it was like an extra fee on the ticket. And if you were a select member, you had that exclusive, you know?
Discount.
Yeah.
Okay,
You know, so
okay.
NK6 and I, we went, and it was a beautiful experience. We met so many artists. We saw DeVito, Tokisha, and they were all talking to us. Like, they were on stage just giving us straight tea, straight behind the scenes magic on what it is to be an artist and to be a business mogul. So it was beautiful, like, to see. And then from there, just more opportunities started coming, because when you get in those rooms, you need to know who to shake hands with. And I felt like in that time frame, in that period, I definitely shook hands with the right people.
I'm glad you said that, because I think a lot of people are either afraid or they're just not equipped with the knowledge to go and talk to those people and go and network. Like, you can be the most talented person in the world, but if you're not ready to put yourself out there, to have those conversations, to shake hands, you're gonna miss out on so many opportunities. And 100%. I tell my people that all the time, like, you know, you're only as good as, you know, or rather, you can't let dreams stay dreams. I say that all the time.
Right,
it's
you're
like,
only as good as you promote yourself to be.
Exactly. So, I have certain people that's like, yo, what do you think about if we did something like this? Or, you know, I have an idea to start this. And I'm like, I love that.
Right.
It's great. What are you going to do to move it forward?
Put that in action.
Steps you're going to take?
Right. That's really how you measure, like, how far someone is willing to go for themselves. Because you can put it in motion all you want, but that's only going to help you.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I can't always say it like that, because it's like sometimes it just depends on the know-how or the knowledge and how to get that first step. And then from there, they're like, okay, I can take it from here. So it depends. But I think if you're a self-starter, you're going to figure out how to get that first step done regardless.
Think of it like this, though. I understand it's about, you know, the no, and like, yes, some people can be intimidated as well. But I feel like everyone is given the equal opportunity to get on the web and search something up that they don't know and figure it out. The information is out there for you to receive. It's up to you to receive it. So it does bring me back again to that point where it's like, okay, well, if I can do it, you can do it. And if you're not doing it because you're saying you don't know how, I didn't know how, and I'm here,
that's
you know?
I tell people all the time. They're like, oh, but how did you? I'm like, I
don't know how I did it.
I was 16, like, go on YouTube and
figure
Google
it out
and talk to people. And from there, it just happens. And,
that's a lot of willpower.
You can't be afraid to try either. Like, I say this all the time too. Like, I've had events where 400 people pulled up.
Exactly.
I've had events where 4 people pulled up. And both experiences are going to humble you. Both experiences, something's going to go wrong, something's going to go right. And you just have to kind of learn how to maneuver and do it for next time. And, you know, even you might have 500 people after the 400, and then you might have 10 after. So it's like you can't let every little rupture
deter you or
like
determine where.
You got to stay on your path.
Exactly. Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Speaking of, like, I don't know.
What's going on?
I don't know. Me and you got beef.
That was so. Wait, can we just acknowledge how random that was? We were just talking about how amazing shows can go, and then you're like,
it's because I haven't seen you in a while, and I was like, just pondering in my thoughts, and I was like, yo, we do have beef.
Okay, so explain the beef, because now I'm vegan. I'm not trying to have beef. What's
up? Are you
up?
actually vegan?
No.
I was like, what?
No, I can't let go of chicken.
Rican and vegan?
Hell no.
Well, you can be. Shout out to Body Vegan. Yeah, actually fire. But
that's a brand.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to check them out.
You know, I'm eating good. Nah, cause.
Look, trying to find the reason.
We had beef before.
Why?
Because, quick story time, y'all. I met Crybaby in the studio, and we was cool.
Gosh, yeah.
We was at a what was it, like a networking event?
Yeah, like a little mixer.
Yeah, like a little mixer. Everybody's playing music. I'm like, oh, your music is dope. We follow each other on Instagram, and then, like, let's say 2 to 3 months later, I get unfollowed, and I was like, yo, like, I'm a supporter. Like, why would you do that? Then about, I say a year later, guess who pulls up to one of my shows? And I'm hey, I know you. You unfollowed me, and you thought I would forget.
Don't even. Because how did you even know that I unfollowed you?
Because listen, sometimes you just know, like.
I can't. I'm sorry. You got my hyena laugh out.
I'm liking this person's content way too much, and it's not being reciprocated. I'm like, hold on, let me see something, and then you go
First of all, I don't
Followers.
even think I unfollowed you first. So the beef is you're beefing with yourself
I'm
because
not beefing with myself.
no, legit, because I remember meeting you in the studio and like genuinely vibing with you, and then I know that you were connected to Bantam. Like you're still connected to Bantam. So like I'm cool with Bantam Will, and I still been following him. Like I probably don't follow him anymore.
So you follow them, but not me. So
No,
you
I said I don't
me.
follow
No,
them.
no,
I
no,
said I
no.
don't follow them anymore. But I'm saying like before in that time, like I like considered you guys. Oh, like they're all together. So I don't think I was the one who unfollowed you first. But like maybe I just go. I just go on unfollowing sprees.
If you ain't unfollow me, but
Listen,
that's besides the point.
Spam the comments with "Stop being mad, Con." Come on. Anyway.
Yeah, I guess I'm mad. But speaking of beef, talking about Drake and Kendrick, what side are you on in history?
Okay, so I love them both, but I do feel like Kendrick kind of like to Drake.
He wah, wah, wah,
Yeah. You heard that, right? Wow. But honestly, like not in like a oh wow, like Kendrick got Drake under the rug. No, like Drake definitely stood his ground. He always does. Drake always stands his ground when it comes to rap beef. I do feel like Drake is just always gonna be Drake. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, especially when it comes to this rap beef stuff, it's kind of like the same attitude and energy from Drake always. Whereas like Kendrick was really like giving it. You know, he was giving the crowd what they wanted to hear. Like they not like us. Like period. You know.
So you're saying Kendrick won?
Yeah, I guess if I had to choose.
Did you see the performance that he did in Inglewood?
Yeah, actually, NK6 and I, we caught it on like a live stream.
Yeah,
and we caught like
Amazon.
Yeah. It was super dope. And then I saw like the day after, I'm at work and I saw like a few people on my Instagram were actually there. So to see like the POVs, those were pretty dope. It was a pretty dope show. Is what it looked like.
I mean, he performed Not Like Us 5 times.
Yeah, I was gonna
6
say,
times?
and they were singing along each time.
They were, and he brought up a bunch of gang members on stage. You got Bloods on
From
there,
different,
Crips,
yeah,
Pyro,
from
all. So it was,
history was made.
I like the unity on there. I was actually having a conversation with somebody yesterday, and they were like, they would have respected it more if he did that without the beef, because he was feeling like that this was. I mean, and for me, like it's all good marketing, but he was like, it just feels not genuine because you decided to do this in the midst of a beef, and this is what comes out of it, and like. I don't know.
I understand that view. I understand that view, but I do think throughout the whole time, like Kendrick was like still saying like, "I love you." You know what I'm saying? Like, why you acting like this?
You
like,
think he said "I love you" to Drake?
Yeah.
What
Multiple.
line?
No specific line. Like he's throwing shots because he's like stop being stop being a little wussy. Like, come on, man. Like you gotta think about it in a way where it's like how they say Drake is very like sensitive. You know what I'm saying? So. Maybe he was just a little too sensitive, and Kendrick didn't really mean to like step on his toes until he really had to. You know what I mean?
I enjoyed the beef. I think
I do too. I still do.
I will say Drake. I'm still the #1 Drake fan. He's gonna be my #1 artist on Spotify. There's no getting around it.
Same. He's still in my top 3.
Yeah,
Kendrick though, this year I don't know if it was. Yeah, I think it was this year. I had some list on my Apple Music that it was saying like what were the top artists for me as of this year, and Kendrick was definitely on top of Drake.
I don't think I've ever been like a huge Kendrick fan. I think like
Me neither.
when Good Kid, Mad City came out, I think that was the height of my Kendrick appreciation.
I got into Kendrick in 2020. Like,
oh, that's very late.
Yeah, so I'm not a huge Kendrick person either, but this year he got me. Like
I like Damn too, but what I was saying before is like Drake is always gonna be my favorite artist. Do I think he won the beef? I don't know. I think it was very much like some things are just better left unsaid.
Yeah.
But I thought seeing Kendrick bring out all those people on stage and performing it and it being like a moment for the West Coast.
That was cool.
I was like, that was cool. I enjoyed watching that. I enjoyed seeing all the people he brought out. So just that sense of unity, I was like, this is cool. And it kind of felt like the West Coast version of Jadakiss being in Versus talking about, against the Diplomats. He's like, yo, I'm from New York. This is what I do. And then you go straight into New York.
Right.
The song. It's cool.
Yeah, it was a dope experience to definitely like see, and I'm pretty sure for the audience there, something like crazy to witness because like I'm pretty sure in 20 years from now they're gonna look at those pictures and be like, wow,
wow,
that shit happened,
yeah.
And like he said, like to be able to do that multiple times over with like rehearsal and all of that and have no issues arise, like that's
Yo.
kind of a blessing, to be honest, to have like that many people in the same room and nothing like pop off, especially with in the midst of a beef. That's crazy. It was pretty good. And a lot of those people like also mess with Drake that were on that stage.
I'm not gonna name names.
Just saying, we don't have to name names, but we gotta
Nah.
name it for what it is. So
Yeah.
like, if they're gonna say like, yeah, he shouldn't have did that in the middle of a beef, it's kind of like, well, like he did, and like the people were standing on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, look who showed up.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like like it happened, regardless of when it happened, and that's a pretty cool thing to flex.
Have you ever had beef with another artist locally? I'm curious. Very curious.
I wouldn't say I don't beef
Or
with
you
nobody.
don't even gotta be with artists. It could be a producer, promoter. Like, you ever just had beef in the industry in general?
No, I don't beef for nobody.
You don't beef for
I don't
nobody?
have a like me personally.
me.
No, you was just like that's a perfect example. I don't beef with nobody. You were just beefing with me. Like perfect example. Like most times I don't know if someone genuinely feels away, and if I do know, it's like from a third party. And like honestly, if it's not directed, it's not respected. So
So you never throw no subs in the song or nothing like that?
not for like no
Not
other
for nothing serious.
No, unless I'm just heartbroken and I'm throwing shots at the situation, not like
Yeah,
at a person.
I've done that
You know
too.
what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna talk about, because my music is my outlet to express myself.
Well,
so
I mean, I've used real voice notes in my music too.
you're petty.
Nah,
No.
but we had a conversation about it. We good.
All right,
we good.
you're like, yeah, I'm gonna use your crazy
Oh, no,
ass.
I didn't ask for permission, but I did ask for forgiveness.
Okay, well that
Well, I
matters.
didn't ask, but we spoke about
Forgive
it. It was
me,
squashed.
period.
It was good. The song is still good, you know. I'm like,
It's
if it was
still
a
hits.
whack song and I used it, I'd be tight too. But it's
That
a
goes
good song.
crazy.
It's a good song.
That's still a little petty though. I would not let you live that down.
I was feeling, you know,
Salty.
You know what's crazy? It's a song off my album. It's called Poppin'.
Okay.
And it was just like Tyron shaking his head right now. He's like, yeah, that's my joint. It was just the day we were in the studio. I was working with Jerron, Jiggy, Ron Double R. I think Tuzo was there. Gray Love was there, and went in there, freestyled a hook. We had produced the beat. We were just like, everything was kind of flowing. And then I was like, guys, before the drop, can I just try this one thing? And I sent the audio, and we plugged it in, and it just fit perfectly. And I was like, oh shoot.
I love those moments in the studio when
I'm
you're
gonna
just
get
like,
in trouble.
yeah. But it was so perfect for the moment.
It was perfect. So, you know, we try to distort the voice a little bit, and like,
A little bit.
I'm still probably gonna get in trouble.
She
for
don't
this.
know it was her.
We talked about it. It's squash. Like,
That's good,
It's
that's good.
cool. But yeah, nah, I don't.
Yeah, nothing personal.
So no rap beefs.
No rap beefs.
No rap
I don't feel like it's worth it. Like, especially not at the level that like, not at the artistry level that we are right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe not even if we were bigger, because it's really just not worth it. Like, what are you gaining besides like taps? And I guess like that's the point of it. You know what I'm saying? But like, you can get taps from so many other different types of clickbait rather than like, look at what Doja Cat did. Oh, listen to my song and I'll show you my boobs. She didn't really show her boobs, but like, imagine how many. That's a troll that I would do. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys are so thirsty, like, you know, like
that's
so
crazy.
thirsty. But
I
like,
didn't know she did that. That's funny.
she definitely did, and I think that song like was nominated for like some award there. I forgot, but it was, that song went crazy just because of her trolling.
That's crazy.
So beef, trolling, I rather troll.
I'm trying to think if I had a beef too, and I'm like, I don't know.
No, like I've had problems with other artists, of course. You know, like you run into artists that are like lazy, don't match your work ethic, and like don't match your talent ethic at all. You know, and it's like you can't blame them for it. But
I think the problem I was running into was people expecting me to help them or expecting collaboration just because I'm cool with them.
Yeah,
and
100%.
I think if they would have asked me years ago when I was still a little bit more green and new to it, I've been like, oh yeah, amazing.
Right.
But I think at a certain point, when you develop your artistry enough, you're like, I know that.
You got to learn your worth.
You gotta like not do that.
You don't have to.
but people take offense to it.
Yeah.
And
100%.
you know, it's like you have to kind of take the personality out of it and just also think about the business. Like, yo, that's just not a good business move.
That was the perfect pivot into what I was about to say. People forget that being an artist is a business rather than just because we're people. They're like, oh yeah, like we don't have to pay you all the time. But it's like, no, you do, because my time is my money and my money is my time. That's what you're failing to see. Everything that I do, I put my money. Like as artists, that's what we do. We put our best foot up for it, for people to be like, oh, but can't you just do this? Like, no. How long does it take you to do that? You know what I mean? Like, but then if you're coming with that energy, then we're the ones in the wrong. So I completely get that, but that's neither here or there. Like,
you're fully independent, right?
Yeah.
Okay, dope.
Fully independent with sponsorship deals or whatever.
Sponsorships, can we talk about that?
Yeah, because of United Masters, I won a sponsorship campaign with Spotify, and they put.
Nice.
Yeah, they put
Congratulations.
Thank you. They put a couple thousand behind one of my tracks to be promoted and sorry, I had to clear my throat.
Oh, okay.
It was too heavy to speak about.
A couple thousand.
I didn't even intend for that.
No, it's just all coincidental.
That was perfect timing, actually.
Okay.
But yeah, so they definitely did that, and it took, I think it was, I would say maybe like 2 months for it to all get flowing. I did like a little photo shoot to make sure I had perfect photos to promote for that song and, you know, all of that extraness. But I've done that, and now I do have opportunities where I'm uploading constantly like my music to different brands and like companies to see what opportunities can come from that. So Crybaby coming to the nearest screen soon.
Near you. And like, how do you navigate being an independent artist? Like, are you doing most of the stuff yourself? Do you have a team? Do you have, you know, a partner that helps you? Like, how do you kind of go about your releases? How do you go about promoting? Like, are you the mastermind behind everything?
For the most part, yes, I do mostly everything I do myself.
Okay.
As far as like recording content and like getting help when it comes to writing, if I ever need it, or in the studio, I do have select artists that I do go to. Like the main person I do go to is NK6.
Shout out to NK6.
Yeah, big shout out to NK6. You know, he's always there when it comes to whether it be writing music or being a part of an event. Like when I coordinate my events, he's like one of the first people to be like, hey, like what can I do for you? What do you need? You know what I'm saying? So I do have, you know, at least one person to lean on when it comes to help. But for the most part, I am the mastermind behind it. I put my money behind it. I don't ask. I don't raise money for anything, you know, so.
And it's hard to do everything by yourself. I think like you can come up with ideas by yourself, but execution, I think, requires at least one extra person.
Yeah.
One extra person.
Yeah, definitely. Because when you don't have that one extra person, you start to go crazy.
Yeah, and then like also you need somebody to bounce ideas off of, and like, you know, how do you know if you're wrong?
Two brains are better than one.
Exactly. Like I could be like, oh no, I want to do it like this, like this, like this, and those might not be that best option. So
someone can see the flaws.
Yeah, exactly. Like me, whenever my team comes up to me and tells me something, I'm like, listen, like I'm nothing against you, but my job is to poke holes in everything that you say.
Exactly.
I'm not saying this is what I think, but I'm just saying this could be an angle of what somebody else would say.
That's definitely like our dynamic in our relationship, like with everything, whether it be a new song, like he'll hear something that I sing, and if he thinks that it can be done better, he will let me know, like that can be done better. You can do it a little this way, maybe try it this way. Even with like events per se, you know what I'm saying? If I coordinated the entire event and we're decorating, and he's like, you think this will help for later on, like when people actually start showing up, and then I will take his suggestion, and later on it's running way more smoothly because it was something that I didn't even see because I was so zoomed into the event. You know what I mean? So it's so great to have at least one person, but I definitely have a few people that I can like branch out to, invite to the sessions. That's good. You know? That's
good. That's important.
Yeah.
And then like being a woman in the industry, like how is that for you? You know, I'm curious. You know, it's definitely like a male-dominated category, so I can pretty much always understand what a guy is gonna go through, but you know, I don't really hear about. Well, I mean, you do hear about certain struggles that women go through in the industry, but like nobody I know personally. So I think this is like a good opportunity to hear your like side of things and what things you've gone through.
I feel like being a woman in general is kind of difficult, but in the industry specifically is extra difficult. Message. But specifically in the industry is difficult as well because people are constantly looking at you like an item or like an object, and they're like trying to like sexualize everything you do. So like if you're not sexualizing yourself, like people will turn an eye on you. You know what I mean? So for me, being an artist that isn't trying to sexualize herself, but I'm gonna give you a little piece of me tastefully. You know what I'm saying? So that way it keeps
She
you wanting
said
more.
it's poetic.
You know what
It's
I mean?
poetic.
Like just so that way it keeps you wanting more, because I'm like, what's the point of showing a whole tit if like I can show you a little bit of cleavage and you're like, oh, what's under there? You know what I mean? Like you already gonna see the whole thing. Like half of these girls show the whole thing, and that's
And it's like, what else is left?
exactly. You know what I mean? So in that aspect, it's really hard. Going to events and having guys try to like make music with you just so they can be alone with you. You
Be
know?
like, yeah, nah, come to the studio, let's smoke.
That's why I'm never alone by myself. You know, like that's another thing. To have NK64, like he's always with me to make sure like it's safe vibes. You know what I mean? Like people are just not. I've gone to so many places by myself where it was very uncomfortable. Where I'm in that situation where I'm like, okay, like I'm very professional, so I can be in a professional setting, and if you want to hang out as friends, like me and you, we know each other outside of the professional setting. We can hang out as friends, but that needs to be declared. A lot of people don't declare that.
Yeah.
They're like, come to the studio, and as soon as I get to the studio, they're like, so like,
Nah, that's
what
crazy.
you trying to?
What
Like
you
you
tryna
better,
do? You
yeah.
tryna
Like
make
what
music?
you trying to do, rubbing that couch like that? Like what in the? So, I guess that's like the more difficult aspect, just kind of getting looked at as an object before talent, and then like when they actually see, oh shit, like she's about her business. It's like
Yeah.
okay, now I know I could take her serious, or now I know how to maneuver.
But, I mean,
you know,
they should take you serious
regardless.
before all that.
Exactly, but people don't. Just that's the reality of being like a woman, and not even to boast myself, but to be like a pretty and a confident woman within the industry. You know,
I'm bad. I'm
Period.
bad.
you have to. You have to tell that to yourself.
It's cool that you have at least somebody to lean on, like pull up with you, like if you don't feel
Yeah.
comfortable. And it's good to have just close people around you. Like I know
That
you're really
support.
close with your mom.
Yes, yes, I am.
I met your mom a few times. She's always talks highly of you. That's
Yes.
like, y'all like partners in crime. So like, how was it having her around with supporting your career, and or maybe not even supporting, but like just being a part of it?
Being there, well, yeah. To have my mom is awesome because I know a lot of people don't have like any family support. So just to have my mom, that's the one person that I'm doing this for. Like she raised me, so I know that whatever I gain, like whatever are the fruits of this labor, I want to be able to share that with her while she's still here in this lifetime. So it's a beautiful experience to have her beside me when I'm performing, and to have her see that I can make a difference within, even if it's just 30 people's day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's a beautiful thing to have her there.
Yeah, shout out to the moms out there.
Shout out to mamas.
Moms are the best.
You guys
Shout
are
out to
great.
moms. Yeah, shout out to my mom too. She just had her birthday like last week.
Happy birthday, mama.
And I was gonna say, obviously being in the Bronx, like, is there challenges being directly from the Bronx too in the industry? Because for me, this is what I would say. Like, I know being somebody who's, of color, from the Bronx, can kind of talk like I'm from the hood, but also can play the other side.
Yeah.
You kind of get grouped into a specific pocket of the music genre. So, like, for example, just because of all those things and the fact that I could rap, even whatever I rap about, it doesn't even matter, right? Most of my songs are about heartbreak, but like in the industry, I'm gonna get booked with shooters and the Udas
Exactly.
and the ah-ahs
Exactly.
and so I don't know. I just feel like that was also a part of why I kind of put music aside, because I'm like, I don't want to keep being put in that box or
Yeah, I
being
completely
put
agree.
in that genre. So I don't know if like you deal with anything like that too. Like, do you get compared to other female artists?
Yes.
Or you? Let's
Yes.
talk about it.
All the time. So like, especially more like the latest artists that I get compared to is like Ice Spice, because like I have that rapping side, but like I've been making music since I was 9 years old, and like I'm a year older than Ice Spice. So for me, it's kind of like I'm getting compared to someone who's younger than me, and it's like, okay, like I guess like you guys are just now finding out about me, you know, like so. In that sense, it's kind of like I don't want to be put in that box, but then again, it's like with where I'm from and like
You see,
our
that's what
color,
I'm
you know what I'm
saying,
saying?
yeah.
It is a lot because where we're from, we have a certain vocabulary and we have a certain way of just kind of addressing people, and we have that okay to kind of just speak freely and speak comfortably with our people, with, you know what I mean? So to go into different rooms and to just freely be yourself is not always accepted, and it's not always the best. You feel uncomfortable in certain rooms when you want to sing certain lyrics, you know what I'm saying? So I definitely come across that, and it definitely is something that makes you want to,
being uncomfortable in a room when you want to sing certain lyrics. Like, I'm over here talking about, like, oh my God, she broke my heart. People on the stage like, whoa.
Yeah.
She don't want you.
Yeah, because it matters, you know, like that definitely is something that, you know, comes into play. Like, depending on where you're doing a show, you want to make sure your lineup or your set list is matching the crowd's vibe. You know what I'm saying? So I'm doing a show in the Bronx and I'm going to do some drill, but I know that my fans, like, regardless, they're going to want to hear some of my slow and sexy stuff. Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? No matter where you go, they're going to want to hear tonight. So you mix it up. But I go to Brooklyn and it's like, sometimes I don't even want to sing tonight because I'm like, all right, like, they're really not going to rock with this. Yeah, you know what I mean? So it really just depends on where you are, how people are moving. And like, yeah, all of that stuff really does take a toll. And it does get stressful after a while because as a creative, you just want to create and be your like full self.
Exactly.
So when you can't be your full self, it's like, okay, like, what is the point of me continuing to do this then? You know, or like, is it always going to be this difficult? Am I always going to run into something? So I definitely agree with that.
Yeah. Do you have like any artists that you look up to or inspirations? Any artists you pull from?
Absolutely. For one, I love Lauryn Hill.
Okay. I feel like that's a big one.
Yeah, Lauryn Hill is like the biggest like female MC for me. That is like, she can sing her heart out, but she can also rap her soul. You know, so I take from that like a lot. I love women who are able to do both. It's like wearing a sneaker and a heel. You know what I mean? It's beautiful.
Message.
Yeah. I love like getting more modern, the Adeles, the Nicki Minaj, the Cardi B, like literally like all of the powerful women. Beyonce, love Jay-Z. I wasn't a huge Jay-Z fan growing up. Like, I wouldn't like sit down and listen to Jay-Z, but like more songs than others. Of course, I know when you throw them on. You know what I mean?
I've been blasting public service announcement for like probably the last month. Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is
H to the O-B. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, definitely love Jay-Z. I love The Weeknd. Me and The Weeknd have the same birthday. So that's my twin. He just doesn't know it yet. Okay. Yet. Heavy on the yet.
Are you a fan of Ice Spice though?
I'm not opposed to Ice Spice. I don't feel like she has much substance, but that's a whole different conversation.
I wasn't big on her at first, but I definitely see the appeal and like,
yeah,
you know, sometimes I catch myself because being an artist is like, oh, I wouldn't create that, but I also have to take a step back and like look at music as a consumer and be like, okay, I see why this is fun.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna enjoy this. I'm gonna take the hypercritical
aspect out.
Yeah, and just be like, let me just enjoy it for what it is.
Exactly.
So then I was like,
it's not bad.
What's the song that she has? Oh, In Her Mood.
Yeah, that was a song that changed my sides too. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
This is hard. I was
it was hard.
I could roll with this. So I'm like, in that vein, I'm like, all right, cool. And I think the way they market her, so
great.
Shout out to whoever her team is.
Yeah, her team is doing
crazy. The Ice Spice Metrocards. Actually, yeah. Thank you.
I actually got one of those by accident the other day.
Yeah. Ice Spice Metrocard right here. Like, the fact that we even have it accessible right now.
Dope.
It's crazy. So yeah, the fact that we even have that right here, that just tells you like the appeal and the. Actually, you know what? I have some what you call it too. I'm gonna show y'all. Just because we're talking about Metrocards, I'm gonna show you a few of mine. But we got Killer Kim.
Oh, nice.
Let's see what else we got.
Yeah, that's a great way to market.
Smoke.
Yeah.
I got a Wu-Tang one from
that's
the
fire.
Hulu series.
That's fire.
That is Biggie. I got a few joints. If y'all see me in the street, don't ask me about these. This is just for today. But yeah, I think her marketing is dope.
Yeah, there's nothing to hate on. You know what I mean? Like, she's doing her thing. She's an artist. Like you said, like, we got to take out the hypercritical part of it and just enjoy it for what it is. You enjoy it for what it is, even though there's not much to it. You don't like, perception isn't always everything in music. Sometimes it's just the sound, and if it makes you feel good and it makes you want to move, then that's just what it is, you know?
And she from the Bronx. I gotta
you gotta
love
support
it.
If
it's from the Bronx, I'm like, and you made it out, I'm like, more power to you. Like, I'm
exactly.
Speaking of, like, where you grew up in the Bronx, born and raised, right?
Absolutely.
And Puerto Rican? Are you mixed?
Yes, I'm mixed. I'm Puerto Rican, Dominican, and Italian.
Ooh.
Yes.
So you got a real true, like, Bronx trifecta in you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what was it like growing up? Like, what type of food you were eating?
Really everything. Like, anything from rice, beans, any type of meat, where it be pork chops, chicken. Yeah, exactly. You know the vibe. From that, then we would have pasta like baked ziti. We would do the penne. We did the spaghetti with the meatballs.
She said it, man. Yo, spaghetti with the meatballs, like.
So,
It's the New York's like the way we talk is just water, meatball,
water, house, pool,
coffee. Where's your favorite place to eat in the Bronx?
Favorite place to eat in the Bronx? I would say maybe Havana Cafe.
Havana Cafe.
Yeah, Havana Cafe is my spot.
There's
like
two, isn't there, or is just one?
There is
two.
two.
There's one on Castle Hill and then the one on Tremont, right?
Yeah.
I'm lying?
Yeah, no. There is two. The one on Castle Hill, I think, is like the to-go spot.
To-go, okay.
Yeah, or something like that.
Havana to-go.
But the
So
Havana
you go to
Lounge.
One on Tremont.
Yep, the one on Tremont. I've been going there. It's a bar and lounge, so like you can go while you're underage. Just have to go earlier. When I was like 16, I would go like at 7 o'clock and like stay with my mom until.
To drink?
No, I didn't drink. No. My mom would go for the drinks, but like I would go like in the later hours of the time where I could be allowed there.
Police watching.
Don't watch them too hard. Nah, but like just for the vibe, and it was like so. I feel like I grew up in that place, and like to go there now is like most of the workers already know me, and they know me by Crybaby, so it's awesome. Yeah.
So I go to certain spots and they know me, and they'll shake my hand when I walk in. I'm like, I'm living the life.
Right.
I don't come with no discount, but like I still.
But
feel
they know
happy.
you exactly.
I'm like, you know, I feel good paying full price.
You
to
understand what
peoples.
I like.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
So that's the only spot you like anywhere else. I feel like the Bronx, we have such good food, but I don't think it gets talked about enough.
Yeah, well, to be honest, it's a lot of local restaurants. So like it's not like franchise names where like I can say a name right now, like there's a spot right around me, it's called Delicias. It's so good, but like I can say that and no one's gonna know what Delicias is because it's local.
But that's what we trying to do.
That's what we're putting on.
Change that.
Well, all the local restaurants around me, I eat from all of them.
What type of food is it?
It's Hispanic food. It's Dominican Spanish food.
That sounds good.
So good. So good.
Yeah, I mean, I go to.
How about you? Yeah.
Estrellita Poblana.
Okay, I love Estrellita.
The Mexican chain. That's, if you're in the Bronx, you know that one for sure.
Of course.
So I go to the one on Westchester Square. That's
so
my
good.
spot. I get the enchilada suiza with steak.
Okay.
Then it comes with the rice and the beans.
Gotta love the taco
spots. A little tamale, you know what I'm saying?
They be
Tacos
authentic.
El Bronco on Pelham Parkway. You know what I'm talking
yeah,
about? Yeah,
that one is good too. I'm not gonna lie. Yummy.
The one I've been seeing all over socials now is called Dax.
I feel like I've seen that.
Yeah, DACKS.
Yeah.
Dax.
I
heard that spot is fire, so I'm gonna have to go shoot a
know.
vlog over there. So,
Let me know. You
gotta
gotta give me the food review.
We're gonna have to go.
Yeah.
That's fire.
I love giving food reviews. Like trying stuff for the first time. I'm a foodie.
Everybody I know has hit me up at least once to ask me where to eat. I take pride in that.
As they should.
Yo, bro, I'm gonna be here. What's the good spot around here? Be like,
where do I go?
You come to the right place.
Do you like sushi?
I love sushi.
I love sushi too.
I got a spot called Cool Sushi or Cool Asian Bistro in Bronxville. They do like all you can eat, I think, on Sundays. I haven't done it in a while though, but they have this roll called the windmill roll. Yo, it's crack. I have a picture. I'm gonna put it somewhere
like
on
the little.
Yeah, no, roll.
Oh, roll.
Yeah,
roll.
It's called the windmill roll. That shit is fire. It's so good.
What does it have in it?
Honestly,
I don't know. It just tastes great.
It's good. No, it's got like I think it's called like garlic crunch. It's got
but
salmon.
But this is the $100 million question. Is it raw?
Yeah, it's raw. Wait, so you be eating cooked sushi?
Yeah. So in my spot,
so you go to Mama Sushi? That's what you do? You eat cooked
no,
sushi?
no. Well, no. I love Mama Sushi, yes, but that's like not like authentic.
I'm not saying it's bad, by the way.
Mama Sushi is bussin', but it's not authentic.
It's type bad.
What? No, it's
is
actually.
Is it type bad? Let's get it. No,
I like Mama Sushi. I like Mama Sushi.
You said it's no. We got another
I like it. Well,
I don't know. I've only been there twice.
Me too, and both times I liked it, but. I'm talking about like an actual sushi spot. I don't know. I think it's called Daruma. It's on also 161, 161st Street. Okay. Any roll. It doesn't matter if it's raw, whatever. You have the option to literally deep fry the entire roll.
Yo, that's crazy.
So any roll. It doesn't matter if it's supposed to be raw. Like I deep fry all my rolls from there. And
I'm gonna have to try that.
It's so good.
I'm gonna have to try that.
If you like I'm a big texture person. If you like crunch. Woo!
Mm-hmm.
That's the place.
So that's why I like this roll because so it has like garlic crunch, avocado. It's just like it's like butter.
It's good. Yeah. Okay. Well, now we know. We got good music and good food taste.
Yeah.
Okay,
Now I'm a little bit hungry, so I think we're gonna take a snack break.
let's do it.
Let's do it. We're gonna take a snack break. So we'll be right back. And we're back. You're not vegan, right?
No, I love vegan foods though.
What type of vegan foods? Like any vegan spots? Like I said before, Body Vegan is fire. Any spots?
I know a girl. She has her own brand. It's called Empress Eats. She has like a whole variety of like soul food.
Vegan soul food.
Yeah, vegan soul food. Everything is vegan. Like everything from like even desserts too.
I've had vegan pizza from a spot called Screamers in Brooklyn. Screamers
Brooklyn,
Pizza.
you lost me. That's out of my.
This one I used to be outside a lot
Yeah.
more. But that spot was good. I think there was only like one thing I had. I was like, maybe not. But that spot was good. But like the thing I could do like regular vegan stuff, like, you know, if we're gonna like rice bowls or something like that, or if they use like jackfruit instead of meat. But I can't do the like Impossible beef or like what is it called, seitan or something that they use. Like,
Yeah, seitan is kind of.
How you feel about?
The Impossible burgers I actually like because they're easily digestible for me. I have IBS, so like real
Really?
meat. Yeah, so real beef and like it's okay. I'm used to it. I got diagnosed when I was like 15, so like now I'm like kind of used to it already, you know. But for the Impossible meat, when I first tried it, I was like, oh, it kind of tastes the same as a burger. Because for me, like, burgers were never really enjoyable for me. So when I had something that tasted like it, but it didn't give me the effects, I was like, oh, this is great. Yeah. Why not?
I can do this.
Yeah. Why not? So still now, I don't eat it very often because I'm just not a burger person. But when I can, yeah, but it's because of the way, like, it makes me feel. So I just kind of, like, and once I just separated myself from those kinds of foods, I just, even hot dogs
Do
and
you do
stuff
like
like
a low FODMAP diet? It's basically like foods that are good for people with IBS that they don't inflame the stomach and the bowels and all that shit.
I wish I can say yes. I wish I can say I follow.
So you're a bad IBS person.
Yeah, but I take care of myself. So like sorry, it's hot. But I can follow a diet for like a good week and I'm like, okay, yeah, like my stomach is not hurting. But then there's going to be like 3 or 4 days straight where I'm like falling into the trap of my cravings. And if I'm craving something, it's really intense. Every time I crave something, it's so intense. So I'm like, yeah, eat it. Boom. Stomach hurts for 4 more days. Boom, I'm fine again.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's okay.
I thought I had IBS last month because I was just everything I was eating. I was like,
so casual.
No, all right. So this is what happened. Shout out to Stickies. Y'all fried me with Okay, I don't love Stickies, and
Why?
3 people in this room could tell you why I don't. But I got food poisoning from Stickies.
Oh,
Bad
no.
situation. And then after that, certain foods that I was eating, I would get really bloated. Wouldn't be able to use the bathroom properly. I don't know if that's TMI. I'm just letting y'all know.
We're human.
We're only human. And it just was not working for me. But at the same time, I also have a vitamin D deficiency. So my doctor had given me like some really strong prescription strength vitamin D. And
That will mess you up too.
So I was like, yo, I don't know what's going on with me. I went to the stomach doctor. I was like, yo, like, look, I'm bloated.
It's not working.
But case in point, I realized it was actually the vitamin D that was messing me up.
Yeah.
And once I stopped taking that, I was like, oh, I can eat again.
Too much of anything can really like screw with you.
So yeah, I looked it up and it was called vitamin D toxicity, and it was like gives you kind of the same type of symptoms of IBS and stuff.
Yeah,
like
because depending on where they are taking the vitamin D from, that's too much acidity for the inside of your stomach. So like, it'll mess you up. It'll burn your lining. It'll like make you bloated depending on like the reaction of what you're eating to that. You know, like it sucks.
Yeah, like there was one day I went to Yankee Stadium and I was fine. I was eating everything, boom, boom, boom. Then I take the pill not too long, like not too far after. And I went to Yankee Stadium again. Shout out to Yankees. Actually, we just lost 3 consecutive series, but we'll be okay.
They're okay though. No, I'm saying for
We're
the
great.
losses.
Oh,
I
okay,
love
okay,
the
okay,
Yankees. Okay.
But no, and then I went to the stadium again. I had maybe like 2 chicken fingers, and I was like, oh.
Not the oh.
Meanwhile,
the white chicks gif. Poof.
Oh,
Yeah.
GIF, GIF.
GIF.
What's the
however-
right way to call it? GIF, GIF, GIF. Do we all agree?
GIF, GIF. Anyway.
I
Sorry.
didn't say.
You said GIF, GIF. You said GIF
I think-
first.
Whatever.
The camera saw.
We could play it back later. What was my point with that? Oh yeah. So I don't know. That shit was just Wow.
It's like this with our tummies. I understand.
But yeah, we talked a lot about food.
Yeah.
Big back season.
Big
So-
back where? This couch, right? It's nice.
Yeah.
It fit us both. So
Mhm.
anyway.
So aside from eating, which obviously we both like to do, what else do you do for fun?
Again, I really do it like a little bit of everything. So I'm constantly working. Beside my 9 to 5, which I am a consultant for an investment banking company. So beside that, I come out of work. I do my interviews on some days. There's days where I go to the studio. There are days where I'm doing photo shoots. So I'm kind of just like
But like, what about like when you
are free.
don't want to do the work, you don't necessarily have the energy to be the creative and be crybaby the personality? What I was gonna drop your gut, but what do you do on a regular, like just when you don't have the want or the energy to do those things? You're just like, yo, I just want to decompress and you know.
I like smoking a spliff and making more music. I know that sounds like work, but like that's like really what I do for fun. I really just lock in with myself, and like locking in with myself is my fun. And as crazy as that may sound, like my world revolves around Crybaby. You know what I mean? So even my fun is revolving around Crybaby. Like I can be literally for fun making flyers for a show I haven't even planned for yet. You know what I mean? Or a new cover art for a song I'm planning to release. Like that's what I'm doing on my free time. And if I really, really want to be lazy, I'm just gonna stuff my face on my bed or my couch and watch some Netflix.
Well, see, what do you watch on Netflix? See, there we go. Now
Okay.
we finding something.
Or finding something. I don't know. I like a plethora of shows.
I use the word plethora all the time.
I love
Like,
that
what the
word.
fuck?
I love that word. It's such a good
It
word.
is a good word.
So yeah, I love competition shows, cooking shows.
Cooking
I
shows.
love cooking shows. Any type of competition show though, like anything physical. I love like there's a show with glass blowing. Blown Away, it's called.
Yeah.
I
I've
love
seen
that show.
I've seen that.
Like challenges in the woods and love challenges. I love watching all that
Love
stuff.
challenges is hilarious.
Yeah, Love is Blind.
Love is Blind.
Perfect Match. Love Island.
Love
Too Hot
Island.
to Handle.
See, all right, you just named like all the big ones. I've never seen a single episode of any of them.
What's okay? Well, I don't watch any like all of them. I watch Love is Blind, Perfect Match, and Ultimatum.
What's your favorite out of those three?
Love is Blind.
Love is Blind. Okay. Oh, you know what? You know it's one that I've seen. Love on the Spectrum.
Okay. So I haven't gotten into that one. I always pass it, and I'm so tempted.
Good. It's so good.
I'm so tempted because I don't know if you know the TLC show. It was like with like Down syndrome. The cast was all people with Down syndrome, and they were the sweetest thing, like the sweetest people beings ever. I swear, like you just wanted to be all their friends, but like
Nah.
I can't come
I
up with the name of it.
love dating on the spectrum. I'm like, oh my god, like
They're so wholesome, bro.
I
Like
know, and they're, like,
we don't
they
deserve
found
them. We
love.
don't
Like, look at
deserve.
them. Like, if
We
they
don't
could do
deserve
it,
to
I could
see.
do it.
For real, it's a beautiful thing. I love those shows. They're so good. 90 Day Fiance. I think I used to watch with my mom. Those are like, those are like mom shows.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like those you found on TLC.
yeah. Like I know, like Sundays at like 8:00, my mom will watch it. I'd be like, oh, I gotta get out the.
Now it's Ratchet Sundays with the baddies and all that.
What is this app that people have been watching all these ratchet shows on? Zeus. Can like I be feeling like an old head sometimes. I'm like not tapped in. What is that? Like,
Zeus is like another E network.
okay.
Like it's just a messy
Is
network.
Is it like Tubi but for like ghetto
Yeah.
ratchet shows?
Like Tubi is ghetto. I don't know why you're running from that. Tubi is ghetto. It
But
has
it-
everything.
But it has some good stuff on it too.
It does. I don't get it twisted. It does. It's kind of like Peacock. Peacock is a step up from Tubi.
Peacock? What do you mean? Peacock is run by NBC. You mean Pluto?
Yeah, Pluto.
Okay.
Not Peacock. Sorry, Peacock. I like Peacock. They have good movies and stuff like that.
Which
Pluto.
I think Pluto is owned by Peacock now.
Yeah,
or NBC now too.
yeah. Now one of those big companies, like they all like trail down, but like they're all like in the same range of like ratchet TV. It's just Zeus now is like it has the. I don't know if you remember when Oxygen was a thing when they had the actual Bad Girls Club and all
Yeah.
that. That's like what Zeus is trying to be with the Love and
Got
Hip Hop
you.
and the Bad Girls Club and all that extra.
Got you.
Yeah.
And is it like all like uncensored or and stuff?
For the most part, yeah. That's why people tune in so hard because
crazy.
all of our TV now is like everything is censored. So you find something uncensored and you want to watch it because it's like, dang, that's really what they're doing.
That's crazy.
Like,
And
wow.
You went on vacation recently, right?
Yes, I did.
Where'd we go?
So we went to Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale.
Yes.
I got stuck in Fort Lauderdale one time. Yeah.
Why? How?
So I was coming back from a cruise, and we were flying back home from Fort Lauderdale, and we get to the airport, and it was just after a storm had passed, so we didn't think anything was gonna happen. Like, we should be fine. My aunt, she was going back to LA. She got on her flight. She was good. We were flying back to JFK or LaGuardia. I don't remember which one, but it was like, all right, we're gonna have an hour delay.
Yeah,
So
that
like,
was
all right, cool.
Me too.
An hour is fine. Go get something to eat. Get a notification on my phone.
Another delay.
Another delay. Like, oh shoot. Well, I guess we could take our time again. Another one. Another delay. And then they were like, okay, this was I think a Sunday. They were like, all right, we're not gonna have any flights till Friday. We're like, what? What? So yes, we had to rent a car, drive to Tampa. From Tampa, fly to DC, rent another car, and get home from there.
You guys drove from DC? That's like a 6-7 hour drive.
It was like 4.5.
Oh, you guys were driving fast. That's why.
That's crazy.
Rarely any stops.
I'm sorry. What did you do in Fort Lauderdale? What was the highlight of the trip?
Don't say sorry. That was a crazy story to share. You got stuck for a
coulda
literal week.
I could have went into a lot more detail, but
that's another conversation for outside of this. Well, for Lauderdale, we did a little bit of everything. We saw this like a animal sanctuary where they had like a whole bunch of birds, mountain lions, stuff like that. We did a hike.
Got you.
Went out to eat. We were only there for like 4 days. So
That's fun.
Yeah.
I'm glad you enjoyed.
Yeah, well deserved. We work hard.
That's good. What's gonna be coming up next for you? To crybaby for gonna slip your government name in again, but we're not gonna do that. What's coming up for you?
Better not.
I won't. I promise.
Well, for Crybaby, there's a whole bunch of everything going on. We're going to have so many more events, so tap in with me. Stay tuned. More music, more releases. I'm trying to tap into new genres of music, so new releases coming soon. Hopefully within the next month, we're going to be dropping another song called Little Mama. That's the next one coming up with NK6 and myself.
Shout out NK6.
Yes, shout out NK. Big shout out to NK6 because if you haven't noticed, I've been bringing him up a lot. He's obviously a big part of my career. We're a big part of each other's career, so hope you guys see us on the other side. But yeah, a lot of music, a lot of visuals, hopefully a lot more everything. We're trying to push it all and get our names and faces and voices out there however we can,
Absolutely, that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah, that's it.
All right, well, this was Conchalant. Thank you to Crybaby for being here.
Thank you for having me.
We'll see you on the next episode.
Crybaby out.